Welcome back, everybody, to our challenge podcast. It's just me and Days this week. Meg's in the mountains. Fan Guy's in a poker tournament, but maybe he'll pop in later. I don't know for sure. Days always tells me to like and subscribe, so I guess, like and subscribe. You can even unlike as long as you subscribe, frankly. Dislike, but. So, how would you feel about this episode, Days?
It was okay. I got to see a little bit of strategy there. The best part of the show for me was strictly the daily because I do like the trivia uh, challenges. So, it was good. It didn't have the outcome, the end of the episode that I necessarily wanted, but overall, it wasn't a bad episode. I didn't have to see Josh win an elimination. So,
That's true. And you're saying that as like the only Josh guy on this podcast.
yeah, I like him strictly for entertainment value, the chaos that he caused, but I don't think that he could ever win the challenge. So
Yeah, I agree. Since I forgot last week, who went up, who went down for you? I guess we'll do ups first.
my ups, um, I've got to keep saying that Cam is up for one because she really is just controlling the game. My second up is going to be Casey. She really did show what she's capable of in an elimination. And with the skull, I just don't see anybody coming after her. The same with Cam; those two are probably solid until the final.
Yeah, I agree. I was going to put both of them up as well. Casey probably more so since she got her skull finally. And who went down?
My down, uh, oh, I'll probably have to say both Ambers. Um, how that whole argument didn't end up with either Gabby or Amber M in the elimination, I have no idea. I'll speak on that a little bit later. Um, but if I feel like the entire rookie girls are just crumbling right now, and any one of those could be in the elimination next.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I was surprised that one of them wasn't in this elimination, but I'm actually going to put Corey down because he is the male Black Widow of the season. If you're with Corey, you're probably going home. And if he happens to get a skull, I feel like he's going to be with someone random at the end of this if he does get a skull.
Yeah, I forgot to write that down. That's another reason why I had Amber M down because she's now partners with the Kiss of Death. So
Yeah.
she'll be lucky to survive the next girl's elimination.
It's not looking good for her with her being Corey's partner. Well, we might as well start with the Ambers and their little whatever that was. I guess it's because Amber B's trying to play both sides again, and Amber M was pissed off, and so did Gabby in this episode as well. So I guess we could throw Gabby in there as well. But how did you feel about the whole rookie girls all having this implosion?
Well, last podcast, I said that it was going to be Kyle that kind of fueled these flames, and it wasn't Kyle; it was Devin. Although Kyle and Devin do have a bit of a friendship, so I'm sure they talked about this.
Kyle did fan the flames a little bit.
Yeah, in the Globe thing, either drinking hut, he did flame him a bit, but I feel like Devin. We probably didn't see these conversations, but he was probably in Gabby's ear, really trying to get her to go after Amber B. Um, Props to both Gabby and Amber M for sticking up for themselves and really calling Amber B. God, it gets so fucking confusing trying to decipher between.
It's like Carrie with a K and Carrie with a C on it.
Yeah. Props to them for putting her on the spot because she did. Like she told a bunch of lies. She was double dipping on two different alliances, and she got caught. She's lucky that she wasn't up for elimination or that she had a bit of power because she probably wouldn't have been down there.
I don't know how to feel about Amber. We'll call her Amber with a B's name because she's
Amber
like
Backstabber.
Yes, Amber Backstabber was her nickname because she's pissing off the rookie girls, but she's in the better alliance. Like she's still good with Big Brother, so like I just don't know if she's that much danger if it's Gabby and Amber M coming after her.
Yeah, I don't think she's in too much danger with them. It's just you see it over and over again when you get into arguments and house drama ensues following that. More than likely, you're going to end up into the elimination, which is why I was so confused how neither Gabby nor Amber M ended up in the elimination. So it just completely different directions, which tells you that somebody's truly controlling this game behind the scenes. Otherwise, either Gabby or Amber M would have ended up down there because of this whole argument situation.
Do you think that's Cam?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I actually made a note that even, like Kyle's kind of Cam's bitch right now because he's just doing whatever she wants. I mean, it's a good teammate, I guess, which is good, but like.
I mean, that's what he's good at, though. If you can feed him a little information, he is, I don't want to call him suave because these are douchebag, but
he has a little bit of him, too.
He is very sociable, especially with the women on the cast, and he can fuel it. So I wouldn't say that he's Cam's bitch. I would say that she is utilizing him with his strong suit, which is, drama and being sociable.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. And we did touch upon it, but I also did want to talk about Devin, he's definitely pulling the strings of some of these people, Gabby being the main one because that is his partner now. I guess what do you think his end game is, though?
Devin?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, end game is to, get to the final. But he's, since he was kind of in trouble at the beginning of the season, he's kind of faded to the background and is playing a more under the radar type of game. I think him and Kyle are kind of doing the same thing, letting Cam and I guess Leroy kind of run the show, and they're just playing a backseat part. And that's, honestly, it's a good place for them. There's larger targets in the house than him, Josh being one of those. And Nam, I think everybody still sees him as a threat. I like where he's at. I don't see him in a bad situation right now.
I guess that was my next question, though. Do you think it will be Josh that is, because they have to steal a skull from the men. So do you think it will be Josh that is the first target or Devin? Because I think they're both the easier targets.
Well, part of my notes were to discuss the preview for the second half of the season later. And one of the main points I took from that preview is that I didn't see Josh in that preview.
I didn't even notice.
So I think what we were alluding to in our last podcast is that he's going to be the scapegoat, not the scapegoat, but he's going to be the pawn for everybody else to get their skulls.
I guess I'm just kind of surprised because Josh is a part of this major alliance and Devin isn't.
Well, when you say major alliance, you're talking about the Big Brother alliance, right?
Yeah, which I guess plus Cam and Leroy.
I think I separate those. I think that Cam, Leroy, Darrell to some aspect, and then Kyle and Devin are part of that alliance. Then you have the Big Brother crew that are kind of tied in with them. But I do see that there's a split there.
I wish we had a clearer picture. We talked about it last week, but I really do wish I had a clearer picture of these alliances because I just kind of throw them all together because I don't know who's really with who.
Yeah, they keep saying in their confessionals, the Big Brother crew, but a lot of them are actually still tied in to that alliance also. So there's going to be a break at some point. It's just a matter of when it happens. Lines are going to be drawn, and there's going to be a battle. But we got to get there first. I think there's still moves to be made that they're trying to get out everybody else that isn't a part of those two alliances. So Josh is a part of it, but I don't know. Everything's so intertwined, it's hard to make sense of any of it.
It's very intertwined. Sorry to interrupt, but I have to show an ad for an upcoming episode of Online Isolation 2, our online competition game. A new episode is out Tuesday. You could find it on YouTube. Just search Online Isolation or Online Competition Games. They're back!
I think what's best about our game plan is just that we're not going to tell anyone we're from season 1. Because, I mean, if we were, I don't think they'd really trust us.
I swear, girl, you gonna see me in the chat. I'm gonna be like, hi, it's so lovely to meet you. Yeah.
And we got the new 2 players. Oh my god. What a twist.
Does anybody else feel anxious right now, or is it just me?
You know, they're gonna get along great in the game and they're gonna have fun.
It seemed like Chris might have been a little fake.
Either me or Elizabeth have to win. Have to.
They already kind of seemed like they had an idea of what was going on.
Well, let's go on to the trivia challenge. I agree; these are usually they're my favorite to host and my favorite to watch. Is the trivia challenges. I guess what stood out to you during this challenge?
It wasn't multiple choice like it tends to be. It was simply true or false, which is pretty good odds. You're either going to get it right or you're not, 50-50. Just the challenge in general, I like that they suspended them. I like how they lowered them down. It was actually a pretty physical competition. Like, looking at who won, you could tell that you really had to have some type of core strength, and those that didn't were the first to fall. And then also the fact that some of these folks couldn't answer some of the easiest fucking questions there were. Like,
Casey.
Well, yeah, the wolves being vegetarians, which, okay, I get it. You're hanging, 100 feet over some water. So I guess there is some pressure there, but come on, wolves. A wolf's not going to, like Darrell said, wolf's going to hunt your ass down. But also, Lolo, Washington, D.C., I mean, you, on the Olympics U.S. team, come on, you should know this stuff. You're representing the USA. But I enjoy the challenge. I always like these. I love TJ's reaction. I think it was a lot harder than it looked.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely looked hard. I mean, I don't know if I'm physical enough to hang there for very long, to be honest. Did you like anybody's strategy? Because like I mentioned earlier, Kyle was definitely after Teresa. He was for Cam in that one. There's a couple other ones, like Fessy was surprising. Well, I guess not that surprisingly not great at socializing during that.
I didn't pay too much attention to the strategy aspect of it. I guess the only one that I noticed was them piling on Teresa. But again, goes to show how much pull Cam has in this house right now. But no, I didn't pay too much attention to that part. I guess there was some strategy. I was more focused on the ridiculous answers to the questions.
I also felt like CT had some of the more easiest questions. Like, there were easy questions, but CT kept getting the easy ones.
Well, we also didn't hear what a lot of the questions were. Like, it skipped over so many, and I hate that.
Yeah, I know I complained about the challenge being too long last week, but this one, I mean, it was kind of, I didn't like all the skipping.
I guess you can't go through, I mean, they probably went through 30 questions, 1, 2, 3, 4, probably went back and forth 5 or 6 times. There's probably 30, 40 questions. I guess you can't get all of those in on an episode.
Yeah, it is time consuming. Well, in the end, Darrell did the best. Darrell's, we haven't seen a lot of him this season, but this is his game.
I think, was it Kyle said that he only won because Darrell was scared of falling in the water? But if you think about it, Darrell is a fighter. He's a kickboxer or whatever. Dude probably has incredible core strength. And he did get tipped down there a little bit. So I think it was more both him and Nam just being able to stay up there for so long.
Yeah,
and apparently not. apparently Nam is smarter than we thought he was.
True. I think it might just be his partner bringing him down a little. I mean, I guess any other thoughts on this challenge? Big T was scared. From the minute she got
I
there,
thought she was literally just going to jump off.
I thought she was going to fall before getting asked a question.
I do remember in the last week's preview that I saw somebody tumbling backwards, which ended up being Teresa. I really thought whoever that was going to get injured, because that, hitting water is painful.
It looked painful.
Like,
I'm surprised Teresa didn't get injured.
I mean, she landed upside down on her head and back, legs over. So yeah, I'm surprised she didn't get really hurt with that. The whole Cam holding onto the sides thing. I wish they would have DQ'd her after the second time. I think you should only get one warning, but she was definitely trying to get a little bit of an advantage there.
Yeah, she was. So let's see. Next in my notes, I have Kyle. He did stir up Amber and Gabby there for a while. That was his little thing.
Yeah, that was in the drinking hut, right?
Yeah.
Which I still don't get that whole igloo thing. I mean, can they not drink in the house?
I think they just do that because they can't go to a club because of COVID, so that's like their club.
I mean, because I haven't seen anyone really drinking in the house at all.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
wonder if they just like that's their new thing where you can only drink and binge drink in the igloo, and then go back in the house and have fights. I don't know.
Maybe.
But there were some interesting conversations in there. Was it Kyle and Gabby, or Kyle and Amber, and then Amber B having conversations with everybody, which half those.
Nani was trying to get a little revenge from her past with Teresa to make sure it was Teresa getting put in. I mean, who do you think really changed Amber B's mind instead of going after one of the Ambers that's after her, or Gabby?
I don't think it was the conversation with Nani. I don't think that really played any part of it. And Nani was really pushy in that conversation. Like, she's way overplaying her hand here. I do think that Cam had more influence on Amber B's decision than we saw. Unless Cam was just playing it up in confessionals, it's like she had this whole plan, but we didn't really see how it played out with those conversations. And maybe Amber B was just being smart. That was one of the questions I was asking myself during the competition or during the episode. Is Amber B really that smart, or is Cam controlling her? Because Amber B she probably could have beat little Amber in that elimination, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So, and Darrell had a point, like, she's playing scared. Why don't you go down there and get it? She very well could have had, Gabby or Amber M at the house vote instead of Teresa. But, Amber B, she is kind of athletic. Maybe she was really concerned about Teresa being in the final, but you can't really worry about that yet because you don't have a gold skull.
And
you can't run in the
also,
final.
Shouldn't you also be worried of Casey being in the final? I mean, I think that's more competition than Teresa.
I mean, both of them. Those were kind of my locks for if they got to the final, either one of those could win. It's just who would be able to get each of those two out first. But I mean, Amber B and Casey are aligned via Big Brother, so we're not going to see that happen.
I also feel like it could have been a case that it was just there was no way Teresa wasn't going to get voted in, so Amber B had to do something else than maybe she wanted to that we didn't get to see.
I do also think it's funny that Cam has completely flip-flopped on her entire strategy for the game that started in the first episode, which was get out previous winners of the challenge. That's no longer the case because you went after Teresa. You haven't been going after CT. You haven't been going after Darrell. So that whole strategy went out the window.
Yeah. Maybe she wasn't concerned about the guy side. She was just concerned about the girl side. I don't know. Maybe Leroy's the one that needs to be more into getting out these winners.
Maybe because you're not going to beat Darrell in the final. Although he doesn't have a gold skull either,
True.
it's going to be hard to not let him get one. And if you let him get to the final, you're probably going to lose.
I mean, there really wasn't much else to talk about. It was clearly going to be Teresa and then Casey. I also wonder maybe Casey was in Amber B's ear about wanting to go in more than we saw. It wasn't Amber approaching her.
Say that again?
I think maybe Casey wanted to go in and we saw like Amber B approaching her, but do you think maybe Casey was in her?
100%. I mean, Casey's one of those kind of like Darrell or CT where you would rather them not be in the final and you're going to do everything you can to keep them from getting a gold skull. So this was Casey's in to go in and getting that gold skull because she could probably beat anybody in an elimination via it be it physical or a puzzle type thinking elimination. She's got both of those. So
I'm not convinced of that after Wolf, but
please continue. Go ahead.
Well, it is Teresa versus Casey, and Casey basically dominated. Really, I mean, they tried to edit it that Teresa. I mean, maybe she was putting up a fight towards the end, but I mean, Casey dominated.
Yeah, there was no chance for Teresa. When you look at them, both of those girls are athletic. Teresa is more of an endurance, long distance runner type. Casey is, brute force, fast twitch, muscle, explosion type athlete. She plays football. I mean, all Casey had to do was get a good start, get as far out as she could, and keep her feet locked so Teresa couldn't get any momentum. And then she just had to go, swing back and forth between her rings. And did we see this elimination already? Did the guys do this one?
Was this the one West did?
Devin West?
Yeah,
West and Devin?
I believe so.
I think it was kind of like that.
It was different.
But this is strongest person wins type of elimination. I do think that the editing kind of made it look like Teresa was, trying to hold on, but she didn't gain anything.
No, she never really had momentum ever.
Yeah, complete domination by Casey.
I will say though, even though she's not very good at eliminations, I have respect for Teresa in this game. She could be snaky at times, but I would honestly rather see Teresa than Nany all the time.
Yeah, I haven't watched her seasons. Like this was before I started, getting really into it and haven't worked my way back to watch them. But I enjoyed watching her. I mean, yes, she's a bit sneaky, but clearly she's thinking strategically and can maneuver around. It's just her mistake was putting Cam or using Cam to get Ashley out. She could have used somebody else. Cam is just too big of a personality, too sociable in the house for her not to come back to go after her. And I think that was her one mistake. And it ended up taking her out. It took Jay out. It had some consequences.
Yeah, it definitely backfired, but I do respect her for being the strategic player that she can be in these games. Like I said before, she was always better at like avoiding eliminations, and now you really can't, but
right.
Still.
It was a good elimination though. I enjoyed it.
It was.
But I also like bangers, although that wasn't really a banger, but it was, one-on-one physical tug of war, my type of elimination I like to watch.
We did touch upon it, but Amber M is now Corey's newest partner. This is what, his fourth or fifth partner?
Yeah, and Anissa's little quote there at the end that we used to be worried about
being pregnant
Corey getting pregnant by Corey, and now you're worried about getting eliminated, which is true.
Yeah,
it's true. He is the kiss of death right now. I mean, technically, Amber M could still get pregnant by Corey, but
I think she's definitely going to get eliminated at some point soon. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see her making it to the end. There's no way that she's going to be able to win any type of elimination. She's just so small. I mean, she can't be but like 110 pounds, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know who she would even beat and what, unless it's
No
like
one.
a not
Big
so
T.
physical one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it would have to be
maybe.
against Big T, maybe, and it would have to be a heights challenge.
Yeah. Oh man. So you said you wanted to talk about the preview.
Yeah, just kind of hint on it. I mean, we're halfway through the season, or at least that was my take. We've done 9 episodes. I'm assuming there's 9 more, so this is the halfway mark. Couple things I took from it. I didn't see Josh. I'll have to go back and watch it, but I did not see him. So I think that leads me to believe that our prediction, he'll be used as the target to get skulls, because there's no skulls left for the guys. There's still two left for the women. Well, 0 for the guys. So somebody's going to have to go steal one. And then the Fessy versus CT argument. I saw old school CT in that preview. It looked like he had a couple drinks and he was ready to throw bows. And it looked like it was against Fessy.
I hope so, because they teased this already with Josh, and that didn't really pan out. So I do hope this is more dramatic than that.
I mean, they were face to face, and CT was doing his, like when he was talking to TOs, getting up in his face. So I'm ready to see that. Some of the challenges, some of the dailies that they showed looked pretty intense. We did get to see
so far.
Jumping out of a plane, which the last time we saw that, it almost killed Jordan. So I'm surprised that they brought the whole skydiving thing back. We got to see Corey puking, so I'm sure Meg is going to love that episode. Which I'm excited. I'm excited for the eating competition. I love those.
You've been saying that the whole time.
I know, that's one of my favorites, and CT is odds-on favorite to win that, no doubt. And it looked like we saw a couple of the elimination previews. Saw some women wearing shoulder pads, so we should see another hall brawl maybe. I saw Kyle wearing a motorcycle helmet. I don't know what that's going to be about. So
I'm sure they'll have one of their. I feel like the last few seasons they've had a couple of like car ones and shit.
Yeah, I remember the car one last year, which Kyle tried to do. That was no good.
No.
My dad's a stunt driver.
That was bad.
But preview looks good. I'm excited for the rest of the season. I've had some complaints about this season with the lack of conversations that we've seen, both strategic conversations and drama conversations. But overall, like, a lot of the dailies have been great. It hasn't just been fire. They've been really, kind of scary and potentially dangerous. So I've enjoyed that. I'm excited for the rest of the season. One thing we didn't talk about was that stupid BK, the Burger King gift.
Yeah, I was upset. I was just upset as Anissa that it wasn't me that didn't get the Burger King pass.
I like Burger King.
Me too.
It's probably one of my favorite burgers of the fast food joints. But come on, Darrell looked at this and was like, seriously, I haven't eaten fast food in 30 years.
Yeah, I don't think either of them eat a lot of fast food. But
I was expecting like a pile of cash or a trip to Jamaica for 3 weeks or something like that. I wasn't expecting Whopper sandwiches for life.
Yeah,
which is probably not even. It's probably not even for life. It's probably one a day for like 5 years.
Probably.
Yeah. Overall, this is good season so far. I think they've done good.
I did want to say, though, I did post our conversation on Twitter last week about the editing, and we did have comments about the not enough editing with the strategy. People agree that they don't get enough strategy talk this season, and the alliances aren't really clear.
Yeah. I mean, I could draw out a diagram, and I'm not even sure that would help me fully understand
It wouldn't.
because there's so much that we're not seeing. And I don't watch a lot of the Bananas podcasts or whatever they do
Neither.
after the fact. I just kind of look for, bits and pieces of information to kind of fill it in. But from the sound of it, we're missing a lot. So
Yeah, I think that would be my one complaint on the season so far is the editing is not always the best so far.
they'll get there. I mean, like we've said, the skull twist has improved. So maybe next year they'll be able to, bring back some of the dialogue that we're missing.
Anything else I missed in the episode?
No, I think that's it.
Any prediction you would like to make for the next episode?
Well, my prediction last week was right. I said it was either going to be Teresa or Nani. Next week should be a guy's elimination.
You think it's Josh's turn to go?
I think it's going to be Josh versus Corey. And Corey takes him out.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing. That seems the most.
Which we didn't get a hint at what next week's daily was going to be. So can't really base it off of that. This is strictly from not seeing Josh in the preview for the rest of the season and the fact that all the skulls are gone and somebody's got to steal. So I could see, I think it's going to be either Josh versus Corey or Josh versus Nam.
Yeah, I guess I'm just kind of wondering who's putting Josh in this scenario.
You know what? Maybe not, because there still are 2 gold skulls left for the women. So
yeah, it could be
maybe,
another women's week.
Maybe we go that route, because we have had 2 in a row before, but we had 2 in a row because girls kept getting hurt and
leaving
and whatnot.
Well, I guess we will find out. Any final thoughts on this week?
15 days until I've been on Reddit for a total of 30 days. I'm already up to like 100 karma, so that's good. I will be making a Reddit sub forum, a subreddit for online competition games. You can look for me at not dazed, not _ dazed. It really is me, but you're gonna think it's not.
Why is that your name?
Because Dazed and the real Dazed and Dazed 1 and
all
Dazed
taken.
2 were all taken. So I just went with not Dazed because who would pick that?
Well, I will look for that. You'll have to send me a link.
I followed you on your L box or whatever it is. Like you're the one account that I follow. So if you look at your followers, you'll
I don't
see.
even go there. I'll have to start.
So yeah, I'll get that up and then I'll post, I'll post each of the episodes as they go along, and then I'll post our podcasts, and I'll try to spread the word and try to be active on the challenge subreddit, Big Brother, Survivor, and whatnot, and see if I can get some crossover.
Sounds good. And you might be able to see a challenge-like game on this YouTube channel in the coming months. So you'll have to check that out if you're watching this podcast for the challenge. Days might know something about that.
Yeah, maybe. Might know a little something about it.
All right. I want to thank you for joining me, Days. That's all I have this week. I will see everybody next week.